You've heard it a million times, right? The boss stands up in an all-hands meeting and says, "Here, we're more than just a company, we're a family." It sounds great, doesn't it? So warm, so supportive. It's this powerful idea that taps into our deepest need to belong. But today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that concept and really explore the "we are family" trap. And hey, let's be real. A lot of the time, it does feel great. You've got the camaraderie, the inside jokes, that feeling that you're all in it together. And to be fair, sometimes, especially on small teams, that feeling is totally genuine, and that's an awesome thing. But when family becomes this big, widespread corporate culture, well, that can be a whole different ballgame. And companies work so hard to build that vibe, don't they? I mean, you've got the free lunches, the big holiday parties, all the branded swag, the hoodies, the mugs, the whole shebang. It all feeds into this feeling of a fun, super tight-knit group. Okay, but here's where we pivot. Here's the big question for today. What if all these things aren't just generous gifts? What if they're actually tools? Carefully designed tools meant to change how you think about your job, and maybe not in a way that's actually good for you. All right, let's get into it. We're going to start with the foundation. The reason this family promise is just so incredibly effective, it really comes down to this psychological sleight of hand, something called a category error. So what is a category error? Well, it's pretty simple. It's when you treat something from one bucket as if it belongs in a completely different bucket. And this whole work family thing, it's a massive category error. It's deliberately blurring the lines between your professional life and your personal life, all to get you to act in ways that, well, might not be in your best professional interest. To really wrap our heads around this, we gotta understand something fundamental about ourselves. We all operate under two completely different sets of rules all the time. It's a concept from behavioral economics, and we're constantly jumping between these two worlds without even realizing it. And this lays it out perfectly. You've got these two worlds clashing. On one side, you have market norms. This is business, right? It's transactional. You get what you pay for. The boundaries are crystal clear. You work late, you expect to get paid for it. Then, on the other side, you have social norms. That's your friends, your family. It's all emotional. You do things out of love or a sense of duty. The obligations are kind of fuzzy, and you would never, ever send your mom an invoice for helping her move a couch, would you? And here it is. This is the trap. The entire goal of that "we are family" culture is to nudge you, ever so subtly, from that market norms column right over into the social norms column. Why? Because the second you start thinking you're in a family, you stop thinking about what's fair compensation, and you start thinking about what you owe them. Okay, so how exactly do they pull this off? Let's dig into the psychology of the perks themselves, because these aren't just random acts of kindness, oh no. They are precision-engineered tools of psychological influence. It all comes down to this really powerful, deep-seated human instinct called the reciprocity principle. We are just wired, hardwired to want to give something back when we get a gift. It creates this little feeling of social debt, like an itch in your brain that you just have to scratch. And this is how it plays out in a cycle. Let's call it the unpaid labor loop. It's simple. Step 1. The company gives you a gift. Let's say free pizza because you're working late. Step 2. That reciprocity thing kicks in. You feel this tiny subconscious social debt. So what happens in step 3? The payback. But you're not paying them back with money. You're paying them back with your time. You stay that extra hour, you answer emails on a Sunday, you do whatever it takes to help the family out.
So let's just put some numbers on this, right? The company gives you that gift, a pizza. What does that cost them? $15 maybe.
But now think about the other side of that transaction. What's the value of what you gave back? All that unpaid overtime, your highly skilled labor. Suddenly, that $15 pizza got them hundreds of dollars of work for free. It's an absolutely incredible return on investment for them. There's another kind of darker side to this. It has a chilling effect on speaking up. See, in a normal business setting under market norms, if you push back or set a boundary, that's just business. It's data. But in a family, under social norms, saying no isn't professional, it's personal. It feels like you're betraying them.
But here's the thing. This whole illusion, this whole social fantasy they've built, it is incredibly fragile. And there is always, always a moment when cold, hard business reality comes crashing in, and that mask just slips right off. And what does it take? It just takes one bad quarter. That's it. Profits are down, the investors are getting nervous, and boom, suddenly the company has to make cuts. And this, right here, is the ultimate test of that we are family promise.
And this is where the whole thing falls apart. Because think about it, real families don't work this way. Your family doesn't lay you off because the budget's tight. They don't downsize a sibling because their performance metrics dipped 10%. The fundamental logic of business and the logic of family are just, they're incompatible. So when those layoffs happen, the truth becomes crystal clear, and it hurts. The company was never your family. It was always a business, operating under market norms, that was just wearing a family mask to get what it wanted. And that feeling of betrayal, it's so much worse because you realize the relationship itself was kind of based on a lie. So what do you do? How do you handle this world without just becoming totally cynical and checked out? Well, the key is to reframe the whole relationship, to shift it into something that's healthier, more honest, and way more sustainable for you. So instead of family, I want you to try on a new model. Think pro sports team. It's such a powerful mental shift. A team is all about performance. It's professional. Teammates respect each other. They have each other's backs. They work together to win championships. But everybody on that team knows they could be traded tomorrow if the team's strategy changes. It's not personal, it's just business. So let's give you some practical tools. Here are a few lines for your new internal monologue. The next time you get a perk, just think to yourself, this is nice, it is not a debt. Look at your colleagues and think, these are my teammates, not my siblings. And remind yourself, my contract is for my skills, not for unconditional love. You can still be an amazing teammate, you can still join in, but you consciously make a decision. I'm going to smile, I'll eat the pizza, and I am absolutely going to protect my weekend. Okay, so we've pulled this whole thing apart. After all of that, what's the one big takeaway? What's the most important thing to keep in your head when you walk into the office tomorrow? It's this, plain and simple. Your company is not your family. The office is not your home. Be an all-star professional. Be a fantastic teammate. And then, at the end of the day, go home. Go home to your actual family, because they're the ones who really matter.